There we go. Facebook. What's up? Namaste. God bless. How are all? Wednesday. Happy hump day are you? I got it out, man. I was able to get it out. But first, I'd like to start this segment with a sincere, wait, I want to spit off the camera, a sincere apology. Here I am. I give out all this information, and in my haste and excitement and maybe little ADHD, I have no idea. I forget to provide certain details. And the past three shows, I've been on this kick about self-analysis. And you guys notice. But a lot of people are like, what? How? How do I self-analyze, if that's a word, myself? And it's really, really simple. Really, really simple. But I'm going to introduce you guys into a word that came to me many moons ago. I was watching it on when they actually had basic cable, the Discovery Channel, before they went streaming and all this stuff. It's called Prophecy. Prophecy, they were doing a series on Nostradamus, that guy with the beard. He was like a hippie Santa Claus with the feather pen. And he was making predictions of the world. And he made all these predictions that people said, oh, that came true, blah, blah, blah. Well, which is fine. Then we had, later on, hundreds of years later, you had the Farmer's Almanac, courtesy of Ben Franklin, and that was his prophecy, his predictions that it was going to snow in the winter. And I'm like, no shit, meatball, it's cold here in New England, so of course it's going to snow. But at the same time, these guys, granted, the notables were brilliant in whatever they were doing, but we have those same traits, guys. Don't let life deny you the fact that we are our own prophets, man. We are all our own self-fulfilling prophecies, per se. And what brings about that is called emotion. And prophecy is a prediction of something to come. Hence, you're creating your own deja vu. And don't mind the stuffiness. That's, I don't know, dust around here or something, man. But if you guys really think about it, emotion, energy, emotion, is your way of literally creating a future before there's a future. It's your own prophecy, self-fulfilling prophecy by your choice. But a lot of people don't live in that way, man. They think that life actually controls them, and they go in these downward spirals of thoughts. And I see it every year on Facebook at this time of year. Oh, what a year it's been, and I can't wait till next year. It's going to be a great year. And next year it's the same thing. Oh, what a bad year it's been. They keep recreating the self-fulfilling prophecy of a tumultuous year. The point is, how do you stop that? That this has been eking at me, and it literally changed me as a person, because when I realized that Nostradamus, I went and looked it up in the old Britannica. There was a Britannica in the 12 by 12, which is pretty ironic. And I looked up prophecy, not prophet, because we're all prophets of our own prophecy, per se. But whatever we prophesize every day is what we bring about every day. And now that you have your lesson in some verbiage that I don't know what I'm talking about, now I'll get to my point. I have the quote box tonight. This is really important. Think about it for yourself. When things change inside you, things change around you. That's actually not in there, but this is what I'm talking about. When things change inside of you, what? Change what? Ask Nikola Tesla. To understand the universe, it's about vibration and frequency. Everything is energy, everything. And it's vibrating at a cause. Hence, it starts with your cause and it ends up the outside as the effect of it. And when you realize the true power that you have, you realize what radio station you're tuning in. And those radio stations are your emotions. When you realize emotion, like I said, is nothing more than energy in motion, a state of feeling, a conscious, which is a choice, mental reaction to life. And I added to life as the last two words of that to paraphrase it. But a lot of us, as I mentioned before, about creating that prophecy every year that they're writing about how it's going to be a banner year next year, but then rewriting it that it was a terrible year and trying it for the next year. You solve that problem by understanding that self-analysis of self, of your emotions that you're putting out every single day. And I tried everything. I tried motivation, inspiration, perspiration, but knowledge is what I needed to understand myself about myself. Knowledge is power. And when you guys realize the kind of radio station you're tuning into every day, you realize what you're bringing about every day. This is the beauty of prophecy, of creating your own prophecy in life. This is where you stop writing those hamster wheel posts on Facebook saying, oh, it was a terrible year. That literally stops because now you're sending out a completely in a frequency that is relevant to where you want to go. And here's some examples of the downward spiral that the majority of us live in. I lived in for decades and didn't realize why until I understood energy and emotion and all these. And when I obtained the knowledge, and this is what I try to bring across to you guys by just sharing the knowledge. And you guys make the assumption, think about it, make the choice if you want, and do whatever you want as far as with that. Downward spiral is the precursor to the deja vu that we don't want to visit. And it's really simple by characterizing these emotions: pessimism, frustration, irritation, impatience, overwhelm, doubt, worry, blame, discouragement, anger, revenge, jealousy, insecurity, guilt, fear, grief, victim. Yeah, I can go on. These are the downward spiral emotions that keep recreating what you're experiencing out there. Hence, the past. If you really think about everything that I've mentioned is a program that you've been running on from your past experiences. It's a hard realization. This is the self-analysis that I was talking about. And if you can get to this point, which is called the upward spiral, this is the emotional guidance scale, by the way. If you guys Google it, you'll see an emotional guidance scale. It's the energy that you live in is where you create from. And these here are the upper echelon of energies that can only create good in your life. And this is what I'm talking about, true peace of mind. And it's going to open the door to so many opportunities, but you got to practice at it. And I'm not saying it's going to take 10 years. It took me 10 years. I'm just a tortoise, man. I'm just a tortoise, and I learn very slow. But I also keep obtaining knowledge from that. We all live in the same world, but do not live in the same frequency. That's the uniqueness of us with our DNA as a person or as a whole. So don't think you've got to be like everybody else. You operate at your own system. That's why you have your own operating system, which is yourself. Emotional guidance scale for the upward spiral. And this is great because it's amazing. Downward spiral, you hear that from people that are constantly falling in life and going back to where they came from. The upward spiral is transformation. This is you realizing what you've been doing wrong on that downward spiral, understanding and living in these emotions constantly to create only an upward spiral in your life. This is that missing little link that I apologize for in the very beginning on self-analysis. When you're living in joy, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation, passion, optimism, hopefulness, enthusiasm, to name a few, when you push that emotion out constantly, you're going to bring to you matching situations constantly. This is the prophecy that you want to work on. These are the emotions that you want to live in every single day. But Jared, how do you do it? You create the life around that. But it has to first start within you. It has to start with you as a person to create this life. You can't just make the physical changes. It has to come from the core belief system that caused the downward spiral to begin with. When you guys realize how your foundation is, you realize what you need to balance it. You ever watching the old how-to videos, or when they're balancing a home, they have to lift it in one end and lower it in the other. Your life is the same way. You got to realize what kind of foundation you're carrying. Is it tilting to one side? Is it level? Is it going to one way or another? This is the self-analysis, guys. And if you guys are really into change, if you're really sick and tired of the yearly posts on Facebook and social media saying, oh, it was a terrible year, how do I fix it? You fix it by your emotions. About you understanding you. Nothing about life, meatball. Nothing, who gives a shit about what everybody else is thinking? This is all about you. This is about you and your intention, purpose, and what you want to create in this life. Because from that purpose, intention, and potential creation, which is your prophecy, which you keep setting out, the right situations and people are going to match it. It's awesome. It's like you going to a restaurant, picking out the life that you want, embellishing it with all the little, I should say, garnishes or goals of what you want to have, be, and do, and living by that every day. The biggest challenge you're going to have is overcoming where you've been. And the beauty of it is you will know when you get there, because you're going to start seeing all the things that you always wanted to have, be, and do, which you've already seen and hear. Hence, they call that deja vu. Actually, I just watched that with Denzel Washington. That's a great movie. I got Victoria watching all movies now with that stuff. But you guys can really think about this for yourself. We all live in the same world. We all do. But we do not live in the same frequency. We are unique, powerful individuals. Our thoughts are powerful indeed. But as a whole, we are powerful. And what that energy field around us, hence the chi that is around us, our aura, is submitting out to the universe every single day, is bringing back to us every day. And it's something for you guys to really, really sit back and think about, what emotions do you live in every single day? That's the key point about this. That's the whole thing I'm trying to get at with this as I digress from topic to topic on the same topic but different areas. Guys, if you're living in pessimism, I mean, I can literally tell by the verbiage of somebody what state of mind they're living in every day. I don't like doing that. I don't like kind of judging people, which I don't. But just listening to somebody, you can tell if they live in pessimism or frustration, irritation, impatience, overwhelm, doubt, worry, blame, victim, fear, grief, guilt. You can see it and you can hear it, most importantly, in their verbiage by how they speak every single day and how they react and act to situations every single day. Guys, the whole point of America's Mentor is to just keep injecting you with knowledge and to help you think. This was the same route I had to take, because here I am looking for answers to questions I didn't know how to ask. And when you realize what you're trying to ask, when you realize what you're trying to obtain, you realize the prophecy you're creating in your life. And you'll say, wait a minute, I don't want to go down that road. Indeed, that's what I call take a different path of thinking. Because what you're thinking about, you're feeling about, you're bringing about. So guys, I hope this helped you, because the emotional guidance scale, if you guys can Google it, it's literally an electrical system of what we're transmitting every day. I didn't get into that esoteric kind of language about that. When you realize these high frequencies of joy, empowerment, freedom, love, way up there in the 560s and the 780s in the electrical sense, I forgot the HDZ factor, and correct me if I'm wrong on the acronyms on that. You start living up there with your mindset every single day, with your thoughts every day, with your purpose and your love of life and your being every day, you can't help to bring more of that into your life. And it's amazing how fear and anger, jealousy, resentment are like 80 on the electrical scale. And you guys, you start living in the high frequency, you start attaining high results in your life, guys. So think about it for yourself. America's Mentor _radio on Instagram, at America's Mentor on Twitter, at America's Mentor on YouTube. I briefed on this show last night with Kurt, and I posted it on my wall. But it was more, and we focused on the Nostradamus theory and everything else, and literally had fun with it. So please check it out. Feel free, guys. Follow me, Jerry Maldonado 2, on Facebook, guys. I'm going to grab another show. I might hit the same topic again to reiterate and get more information to share with you guys, because knowledge is power. Guys, have an awesome Wednesday, guys. I'll see you guys soon, man. It's connecting slowly.